I never thought I'd say this unironically, but you should watch War Room instead. Do the thing.
Hey, Scotty. Jesus, man.
Jesus, bro. Hi, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guys, the Angry Grant Show, everybody. This we got an A+ on Cinema Score. The comment section for this is going to be fun. Hi, everyone. It's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. We're going to raise up popcorn with Grant, everybody. It's the Angry Grant Show. Am I going to be get that angry? Not really. There's only so many ways you can say these movies are pieces of shit and that the audience is undervalued and deserves better before you just sound like a broken record. The Forge. Let's just get it over with. The Forge is directed by Alex Kendrick, and it is a sequel, kind of. Sequel / spinoff / shameless fucking Xerox of War Room 9 years later. Also, there's not nearly enough Miss Clara in this movie. You have the one legitimately enjoyable thing about that other stupid movie, and you don't use her enough. Damn it. What's The Forge about? Well, film centers on Isaiah. He is the nephew of Elizabeth and Tony Jordan from the first movie. And his mother is Elizabeth's twin sister, who is also played by Priscilla Schreier. And it's the same movie. Okay. It's the same movie if you replace, stay with your emotionally abusive husband and be a doormat to all these things that you like that are not hurting you or anybody else. You're dedicating 10 minutes of your time to them, and those 10 minutes could be going to the other 24 hours and 365 days, 7 days a week that you dedicate to Jesus. And therefore, video games, basketball, any kind of social activity that doesn't involve Jesus, if you don't completely give them up, and also sell sports equipment, I guess, you're not a true man and you're going to hell. Even though you're barely out of high school. Fuck the plot. Okay, look. Oh, and also you're going to be sworn into a gentleman's club of Jesus lovers that are men that involves swords. What the fuck is this movie? Okay, first and foremost, I know you're all ready to fire your keyboards. Oh, how dare you, you demonic monster. Listen, first and foremost, I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't hate all Christian movies. I know that's funny to hear me say because I hate most of them, but there are some that I genuinely really like. And also, this review is critical of a film. It is not a criticism of Christianity as a whole. It is a stupid movie being made by stupid people who have nothing to do with God. God did not make this movie. Alex Kendrick and his brother made this movie. And it sucks. Just like all their other movies have sucked. But also, not in the enjoyable way, the movie this is the predecessor for sucked. Because the thing about War Room is, it's a bad movie, but it's watchable. This is not watchable. This is really fucking boring. It's dull, it's preachy, it has the acting quality of a local car dealership ad. Nobody in this movie, quite frankly, none of the people in this movie are actors anyway. And this is the same with War Room, and it was the same with, what was their last movie, the one about the track runner. All these actors have been reused for this. The people who played the Jordans, Priscilla Schreier T.C. Stallings, probably lovely people. They're not actors. They're public speakers. I know this because I looked it up. They are public speakers. They are, and I think they also, T.C. Stallings might be a pastor. I'm not entirely sure. Don't hold me to that, but they're not actors. And that's fine. They're not put on this earth to be in movies. Just because you're a person of faith doesn't mean you necessarily have to make. Look, Kendrick Brothers, if you want to make a video sermon, make a video sermon, but don't call it a movie, because if you do that, I'm going to review it the same way I review any other movie. If you're going to put yourself in theaters, in the theater space that is shared with better movies out right now, like Blink Twice, Strange Darling, some of the movie Between the Temples, Deadpool and Wolverine, movies like that, Coup, you've got to be better than this. You've got to try. You've got to try to be a film. The cinematography is decent. It's actually a little bit better than it is in War Room. And I guess you could argue objectively it's less offensive, but at the same time, that's kind of worse, because there's nothing to really talk about here. This movie is dead in the water. The only thing is, the idea that this movie, it's a brainwashing tool. It's the same thing with War Room, to some extent. It's maybe not as egregious about it, it's not quite as blanketed about it, but there is a line in this movie where somebody straight up says, in a very condescending manner, it's not enough to say that you're Christian. You literally have to dedicate every waking second to talking about, thinking about, and doing Jesus-y things. Basically, what this movie is saying is friends, personality, agency of yourself, and your own personal beliefs as they pertain to you as a person outside of religion. And religion is fine, and you can have those beliefs. What it's saying is being an individual is not valued. Basically, what this movie is saying is it's fascist. Basically, what this movie is saying is put on your uniform and join the club, or you're going to hell. It's a fear-mongering movie, and it's a straw man movie, and I hate movies like this because they treat their audience, who is an audience that is sadly underserved when it comes to quality films. It's a ripoff. You're not seeing movies, people, and I understand that there are some people who go to these movies just for the message. They don't really care about things like filmmaking. Fair enough. But you got to understand where I'm coming from this perspective. I go to movies to see movies. I don't go to movies to see sermons. If I was going to movies to see sermons, I would have church. I would go to a church service that is being held in a rented movie theater. That's not why I go to the movies, and that's not why I do this. And to make me sit for 2 hours and 6 minutes to watch, which is long for one of these, especially when it has no plot. This movie doesn't really have a plot. The climax of this movie hinges on them literally getting moving as much sports equipment as possible. It basically becomes like they treat the fate of mankind on the shoulders of how many soccer balls they can sell to a buyer. That's the climax of this movie. That's really exciting for a summer movie. I gotta tell you, that's really exciting. You might as well make a movie about somebody auditing a class. Yeah, it's like the most boring thing to have be the climax of a movie. But at the same time, if you're just going for the message isn't good either. And oh boy, if you thought a War Room was clearly, because again, it's an all black cast, but it's not an all black crew. In fact, almost all the crew, outside of the people in the film, are white and male, and you can tell because I'm not trying to get into any kind of stereotypes. I'm just doing what the movie does. Practically every line of comic relief in this movie might as well start with "Ooh, girl." It's the most. People say things like "you is" instead of "you are" a lot in this movie. And then you're surprised when you find out it's written by two older white men. Come on, people. Come on, people. And it's so over the top. This movie's treatment of African-American characters makes Tyler Perry look like Spike Lee. Seriously, this movie It's just baffling to me that these actors would sign on to this. But again, no, seeing this, it's like, isn't this offensive to you? Isn't this degrading? Like, I don't understand why anybody would go into a project like this that is kind of racist in its treatment of its characters. It falls into stereotypes, and I don't understand this. I don't understand the draw here. Even if you're a person of faith, like, I don't understand why you would want to associate your name and your image to this movie. I hated this movie, and the Kendrick brothers, I'm sure they mean well. I'm sure that maybe they're not going in this with malicious intentions, but they're not filmmakers. And I'm tired of pretending they are. I really am. Like, if they want to go and be pastors and make video sermons that they show one day as a Fathom event to the faithful, fine. But don't. I know they make money for you guys. I know this movie's going to make a lot of money this weekend. Sony, stop funding these guys' films. Stop encouraging them to make films. They're not filmmakers. I'm sorry, they're not. Kendrick Brothers, you're not filmmakers. Even your best film is worse than any other film you put it against in wide release. I'm sorry, it's true. It just is. You guys don't know what you're doing. I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I'm saying that to help you. This is not what you guys were put on this earth to do. Seriously, it's not. Stop. Anyway, I hated this movie. It wasn't as offensive as War Room. There's nothing really to get mad at. It's just dull, and it's long, and it doesn't. It has about 8 minutes of plot, and it's 2 hours and 6 minutes long. There's 158 minutes that they need to stretch out. And also, like War Room, it's the kind of movie where the plot and most of the subplots wrap up with about 30 or 40 minutes to go in the movie. And then it suddenly becomes we need to move all this stuff part of it. I hated this movie. I really... well-intentioned though it may be at its heart, it's just not a good movie. And it didn't need to exist. And it only exists because money. Because War Room made a lot of money. It was a hit. I'm going to be real about it. It made a lot of money. It was a box office hit. I saw it when it came out. People saw it when it came out. It wasn't a good movie, but, people who go to the movies regularly, they saw that movie. And especially people of faith. They went in droves to see that movie, and it was bad. I'm sorry. It was just objectively bad. As a film. If you like it, that's fine. But as a piece of filmmaking, it is not good. Anyway, The Forge. I'm done talking about this. You know what I'm going to give it. Yep. Middle finger of kindness. Fuck this movie. I'm sorry. It's not even worth getting angry about. It's just, it doesn't need to exist. And there's been too much of that this summer and this year. Like, there's just movies that do not belong in movie theaters. Anyway. That being said, trailer trash. Let's talk some trailer trash. Mufasa the Lion King. Speaking of movies that don't need to exist outside of monetary, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look like a Barry Jenkins movie. I don't know why. There's very little of him in this movie, it seems. Also, that one song part, just no. Faith of Angels, this looks bad. Exhibiting Forgiveness. This actually looks really good. This has Andre Holland in it. It's hard to tell what it's about. It seems to be a father-son drama about painting, but it looks very, very good. Piece by Piece, talked about it, looks good. Wild Robot, talked about it, looks good. Transformers 1, talked about it, looks good. Paddington in Peru, hell yeah, now we're talking. Paddington 3 is on the way, everybody. Now see, those are family films. Everybody can agree are fantastic, especially this guy. Especially the second one. I can't wait. And then here, talked about it, looks great. It's coming out on my birthday. Can't wait to check it out. And was there shawarma? Yes. During the credits, there was, and there were a couple of clips. There was like a scene, and then there was like the message at the end. I think there was maybe text after the credits. Honestly, it feels like a lifetime ago since I saw this movie. Because we have, 3 other movies since then. But, yeah. But I believe, there is like a quote after the credits. But yeah, that's it. All right, we will be back right after this for The Crow. We then have 17 Tour, Follow Again to Cinemas, and 200% Wolf. Tomorrow is The Killer and The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. Monday is AMC Screen Unseen, and we also have coming next week, Incoming and The Last Screenwriters. That's coming up, and that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I see it all. I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Love you all, classes missed. I love you 3,000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does. That's what you're supposed to do. Or so I've been told. Leave a comment, even if it's, hey Grant, I like waffles. It really helps out. And if you want to find me elsewhere, reviews, lists, and other fun stuff, you can find me on all my social media. I'm on literally everything, and either Raised on Popcorn with Grant or Raised on Popcorn. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important. And I want to know down below, what did you think of The Forge? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below. Let me know. And until we meet again, we were all raised on popcorn. Maybe not with extra butter. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone. See you around. Bye.